Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. Now, hopefully, you've been out having yourself some fun. If you have, you've had some decent opportunities. I'm going to start with some of the reports on the Columbia, right? Because that's obviously been very interesting, right? It's only open for silvers, and there's a lot of, or coho, there's a lot of conflict, I guess. They've done this in the past, right? In this time of year, the fall Chinook season, where they'll close Chinook for retention and only leave it open for coho and call it opportunity. All right, hey, I don't get to make those decisions, whatever. A couple of reports there on the Columbia. It's been okay. There's been folks targeting silvers and being successful with targeting silvers. Lots of Chinook that are being caught in between. But in the end, as long as you're fishing the right areas and without breaking down specific locations and not getting in too much trouble, river mouths, different areas like fish migrating over the dam, you can certainly target them. The only advice that I would give there, if you're going to be chasing them on the Columbia and you want to, target silvers specifically, think of kicking up your speed, an uncomfortable level of speed. A lot of us are old school herring fishermen, and trolling around with 360s is already uncomfortable. But even with those 360s, kick that speed up a little bit, maybe even a little bit lighter lead, depending on what kind of weight you usually use. Instead of 16, maybe 12. Instead of 14, maybe 10. Get it a little bit further back. Shorten those leaders up. Shorten up your bumpers as well. And, just think those oranges, pinks, reds, combinations of the two for things that you might be fishing behind your 360. And you can specifically target silvers. Now, I got an email from OSP. Now, whenever I get an email from OSP, it's like, oh, do I open this? Do I not open this? Inside joke. But I was asked just to remind everybody that's out there on the Columbia, if you're targeting silvers, you intermittently run across Chinook. Be as nice to them as you can. Don't put them into a net. Just pop the hooks and let them go. They have a lot of concern that Chinook are being handled, and those mortality rates can go up very, very quickly. Even though it's October, water temperature is still very warm. So they're just asking, or asked me to remind everyone, just be very conscious of those Chinook when you hook them. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense just to give everybody one Chinook and call it good so they wouldn't target them anyway, but hey, what do I know? Anyway, coastal Chinook has been pretty interesting. Tillamook in particular, and I only say it because there's been good opportunities in the upper and lower bay, and then as you head south, that has been turning on as well. Now, I cannot, for the life of me, get a report from Nehalem. I'll leave it at that. It is what it is. Also, today and tomorrow, in a couple of different areas throughout the state, you still have opportunities to chase pheasant, pin-raised pheasant. They are their pheasant hunts, whatever you want to call it. And if you want, go ahead and show my photo, and you can see what that's looking like real quick. My little buddy.
Okay, come here. Hold it.
Now, you can see that obviously Drago is a black lab, but he has turned into one heck of a pheasant dog. I'm surprising how good that dog's nose is.
Nope, drop it.
And yes, proud dad, you get it. But he's also a proud dog. Take a look at I mean, it's just how funny. He just loves to, show off a little bit. In the end, pretty difficult hunting. This week I actually kind of dinged myself a little bit. Didn't do a lot of hiking, but did enough to try to find a bird, and I really should have had my second one yesterday as well. I actually missed. But I do have an excuse. I had to shoot through a tree limb. That's my excuse. But you still have a couple of days of opportunity for that before all those start to shut down. So kind of keep that in mind if you're looking to try to do something a little bit different. Fish counts, though, let's take a look at these on the Willamette. They did do some updates, which is nice to finally see that happen. So thank you for updating those numbers. 11,452 total for silvers that have gone over the falls there at Oregon City. We won't talk about the Chinook numbers right now. Take a look at Bonneville. You'll see the different numbers as well. Fall Chinook been really kind of bouncing around. A lot of people are going, oh, God, well, oh, yeah, I can see why they didn't open it up for Fall Chinook. No, this is the time of year where you get thousands and thousands and thousands of Chinook that pause, stop, don't go over the falls. They wait. There are quite a few more fish than what this is showing in the main stem Columbia below Bonneville Dam in particular. So again, that's the reason why we wanted to throw that reminder for folks out there. Silver numbers though, definitely, if you look at the 10-year average, it's very, very close to that 10-year. Not great, not horrible, but still something to consider. River levels, I'm not even sure which ones we still have in here. I know we added in some of the tribs, but when you're talking about the Willamette, tides are something to consider if you're going to be trolling around for silvers below the falls itself. But the Columbia, it is forecasted to make a little bit of a bounce. I mean, not really much of a bounce, but still tall tides. As you look at it coming out of Bonneville, they've been very, very consistent the last week with how they're dumping water and stopping it. Clackamas, my home river, did do a little bit of bouncing around last week when we had that water. Definitely a shot of silvers showed up in there. Difficult to get some, although I will admit, there's opportunities in all these tributaries as long as you can get to them. If you're drift boating, rafting, bank fishing, we talked about last week. Look at that bounce on the sleds right there. That definitely changed some things. LC, same thing happened further in that southern part of the North Coast. Not nearly as dramatic. So we're going to be keeping an eye on these, obviously, as we go forward. October, November, 2 great months to chase fall Chinook along the coast, and hopefully it just gets better and better. Southwest Washington CCA has got a meeting that's coming up. Certainly something to be paying attention to if you are already a member. You've been made well aware of this. If you are not, you are also invited to go to the banquet, learn a little bit about CCA, what they're all about. Instead of making up stuff or looking at stuff online, it might just be a better idea to go talk to the people themselves. And then probably join because you're going to want to help out. Procure. Don't forget Jason. Send him an email, jason@procure.com, and have a chance to win that prize pack. And as things go, oh, look at that. That did change. Ryan, did you change that? Anyway. Oh, you did? All right. Well, thanks for telling me. It's the Steelhead pack now. It's a prize pack kind of slanted more towards Steelhead as we work our way into winter Steelhead, and I am extremely excited about that. We'll see how that goes. But let's go ahead and check in with Peyton Major, find out what this weather's going to do. And not as good of a forecast this week as we had last week, but yes, we'll take it at least.
Hey, some areas got 1 to 2 inches of rain last week, which is awesome.
Yes.
Others just enough to wet the ground, but all in all, it was a good week. Okay, a few sprinkles today, but that rain chance has continued to decrease. In fact, Deb and I were joking. I went from 40 to about 20% all through the morning just because it's not looking impressive out there, partly cloudy, and we'll see lots of sunshine in the coming days all the way through Tuesday, much warmer, and Wednesday through Friday, a little shower chance there. Okay, here's our forecast for today, 5 p.m. A couple little green dots again. That's why we're keeping the shower chance there. All in all, most of us staying dry. This is now some fog tomorrow morning, a nice crisp start, and then we got the east wind coming through, so high pressure takes over. Paired with the east wind, we're looking at 70s for 3 days in a row. This is now Monday afternoon. We're looking at some mid-70s. So there's that high pressure that you're seeing there, but it's going to exit eventually, and this is now mid to late this week. We have a low that's approaching from Canada, cooler air, of course, but we're tracking those shower chances just because the position of this low really depends on how much rain, or I guess how much rain is dependent on the position of the low. So looking at our Wednesday, Thursday forecast, we do have a little shower chance, but it's not looking incredibly impressive, and that's largely because of some new data. This is now 8 o'clock. There's the low. It's offshore, so we are only seeing maybe just a little sprinkle, and then by Friday, it's fully into Northern California off the Pacific coastline. So I'm thinking we're fully dry on Friday. We're going to be adjusting the forecast through the week. So again, I wouldn't bank on a soaking rain Wednesday, Thursday, although it is possible depending on if that low moves closer to home. Beyond the 7-day, little hint here, Saturday next week's looking pretty wet. So that would be a more potent kind of drippy system if you're looking for that. But all in all, a little breezy early this next week. That's it though. Pretty simple.
No, I like it. It looks great. It just kind of hurts a little bit. Next Saturday is opening day of duck season, everyone, and I'm going to be here, and it sounds like we might get some rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
Owin. Thanks, Peyton. We appreciate it as always. All right, let's quickly check in with Richard. He's from Kenmore. Loves to share his info and insight from up north. Richard, Area 10, you're out there with the live report. How's the fishing?
I'm out with my best buddies today, wrapping up the season. We got full freezers, fishing still good with a few chum mixed in.
Chum.
Still running the standard squid, ace high fly, real short leader, like a 25-inch leader. And putting little strips of rock salted herring on and ripping them around at 3 knots. It's still pretty good. We've got 2 nice coho this morning and lost 2 nice coho.
So is that the target species right now for you up there, Richard? Is it silvers that your coho that you're targeting specifically right now?
Yeah, definitely. And the more freshwater cap that we get on this saltwater Puget Sound here, they get a little weird. They get a little dour, and they go on little 10-minute, 12, 15-minute snaps to where you can really bang out some fish, though. But they are on a mission to start heading up to their streams to obviously to spawn and to have more for coming seasons. But it's still really good. The numbers up in CQ, their creel reports, are still almost 3/4 to a fish a boat. So this coho fishery has some legs.
Yeah, it sounds like, is it? Well, that's the same exact thing that's happening down here, as Richard, as you know. These silvers are starting to work their way up into tributaries now. A little lackluster to get started, but it sounds like things are turning the way that they're supposed to. And it sounds like it's working out for you guys up there as well. How long is this fishery going to go for, Richard?
Well, you know, on a pink salmon year, I think these coho tend to stay out in the salt a little bit longer, because when you have 11 million pinks in front of 1 million coho, those pink salmon eat everything coming down the straits. I mean, they devour everything. So I think these coho definitely stay out in the salt, and maybe another, 10 to 15 days to actually put on some weight, because a lot of ones earlier in the season had a little bit of a concave belly, just starving a little bit.
Oh, that's a very good point. With 11 million pinks coming through, yeah, you would think that they're probably eating a lot of stuff, out there. That's a good point for folks that don't spend time up there. Might not think about that. Richard, as always, we appreciate the insight of what's going on up there, especially on a Saturday morning. Good luck, be safe, and it sounds like you're having a little bit of fun. Hopefully that can continue for a while. Richard, we appreciate it as always. All right, everyone, we're going to cut to break. When we come back, I got my good friends, Brian, Terry, Ian, McNair, owners of High and Dry Waders. If you want to be comfortable, you want to be dry, you want to be able to walk around without being bound up, pay attention. When we come back, we're going to have a couple of quick segments with the boys from High and Dry and point out 4 different versions of High and Dry Waders that you probably should be interested in. We'll be right back.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.